Sector coupling in a big scale. We need more solar parks and we need more electromobility. The rising demand for solar parks, for electromobility, for everything like that, energy transition, what does it mean for Phoenix Contact?
Yeah. What does it mean for Phoenix Contact? For us it's very important because of if you want to fulfill our international goals for energy transition, it's mandatory to have a big growth in annual installation for renewables, as well as to make sure to use the energy quite efficient and smart. That means how to couple the volatile solar or wind generation to another sectors like e-mobility or storage.
And how important is reliability? How important is safety of the components, let's say in a solar park?
It is, in my understanding, it's very important because of it's not sufficient to speak only about solar. If you want to fulfill the global demands, we have to speak about sector coupling. And that is to interconnect the different sectors very smart because of if you have a volatile energy generation like wind or solar and you have e-mobility like charging your cars, it's must connected together. That means you have to have also a storage system between because of in that time where you charge your car, sometimes the sun is not shining or the wind is not blowing. And that is what we understand about this smart and intelligent interconnection between all these different sectors.
Mm-hmm. You deliver it, you supply the components from one hand for the whole DC side of the solar park. What are the expectations of your customers? You're talking to them very much and very intensively. So,
the expectation of our customers is that they need flexibility. So we are thought we have to have a standardized solution. And that is what we provide, a standardized solution, but with open interfaces and with open, flexible solution opportunities. Otherwise, it's not possible because of every project. If you want to interconnect, especially a car charging park with a solar or a battery system, you have to have the flexibility. And that's not possible with a 100% standardized solution. And that is where we are quite successful with our partners on site, that we offer a flexible open software system or hardware software solutions which we can make use of our solution partners to do these customer specific projects.
Flexibility, that means you have to have a lot of experience beforehand to understand what your customers want. Yeah. So how does it fit together? The solar parks on the one side and let's say the charging parks on the other side. Does people come to you, your customers say, we want to build it together because you provide everything for it? Is this a new tendency?
It is a new trend to interconnect, but it is also very challenging because of we come from the solar business with its own thinking of the world, how the world is running for solar. Now we are made to charging stations with a different customer group. They have different expectations. Now it's how to meet each other, to understand how is the behavior of solar power generation and what is necessary to, at the end, to communicate with a charging station or charging park. And that is, in my understanding, the major trend for the future to speak about this digitalization.
Understand.
Otherwise, it's not possible if you don't have this digitalization. And that is what we understand about up to the digital twin. To know before you start project, to know the behavior of your complete concept. And that is what we see as a big trend for the future.
So you have the solar part, you have the mobility part, maybe you have the storage, but you have the grid too. Yeah, and there are some challenges too in demand for certification and to secure the grid operation, because if the solar park is on this, how do you manage this in your discussion with your customers? And do you have a kind of R&D group preparing all this?
We have an own R&D group for that, and it's also very time consuming to take care about this different certification, what you mentioned before. Because of in Europe, especially in Europe, we have an international NC-IFG grid code. And that means that every European country has their own regulation. They follow the guideline, but they have their own guidelines and requirements, and that is actually very time consuming to certify a feed-in management system for every country individually. But it's necessary to do, because of what we do is we have more and more solar installation in the grid. That means we have to stabilize the grid with volatile energy generation systems, and that is what is very important to do, that we provide or can manage the energy generation on the active power, just to feed in the power according to the grid situation, but also to stabilize the grid already. Because of in Germany, you see the nuclear power plants are more and more switched off, as well as the fossil-fired power plants. And now if you see how to stabilize the grid with volatiles, and that is a major part for this feed-in management systems.
Yeah, stabilizing time-consuming work. We have another problem, the global supply chain. Yeah, you know about that. So, can you meet the demands of your customers, or do you have some problems in the deliveries? In the supply?
Actually, if I'm honest, we have problems because of we have a big demand, we have a big growth in our business, and actually we can deliver, but we have some shortages for sure. But it's what we want to try to solve for our customers. That means to find second sources, for instance, to find other supply chains, and so on, that we can really supply and support this energy transition.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you have good and sunny business here in Munich, and keep safe.
Thank you.
Mr. Sieker, thank you again
Nice to meet
for the talk, for the interesting talk and the insights you gave us.
Thank you.